Slow key, and I am. I say I am. You know who I am. Gotta move my car because I just parked here, and then within 30 seconds, the fucking faggot ass gang stalker pulled up. So, fucking relocate real quick. But today's topic: why chosen ones aren't allowed. Now, if somebody comes back here, that's how you know. If somebody comes back here, that's how you know. I don't even think I'm supposed to be back here. I'm most certainly not supposed to be back here. I don't even give a fuck. Damn, I can't even. Damn, my son. Anyway. So yeah, there you go. I think we just opt out, man. I think we saw Waterstyle post a picture, and the caption was, you know, we're already divine. We don't need nobody else. And I think that whatever mission we got here, it's just more important it's like this, right? The trap, right? The soul trap and the inflicted program delusion is that we need a partner. We need like we're not already whole. We're not already full. We're not already complete. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a situation where if you believe that you need to be in a relationship with somebody, you know, if you believe that you need to be in love to have any type of meaning in this life, that's a psyop. That's a man-made psyop. That's a lie. You know what I'm saying? And if you really think about it, you know, at our essence, we're already whole. So for us to feel like we need somebody else, we have to literally damn near we're destroying ourselves, or we're manipulating ourselves. We're not remembering what we are, who we are, what we really are. We're not remembering. It's fucking sun, bro. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like the whole point of us being here is, you know, for us to remember what we are. And so maybe if anything, it's just like a challenge, you know what I'm saying? Because look, man, and I don't even really like the whole chosen one title and shit, because I don't like titles at all. If you notice, like enlightened people, we don't like titles. We don't even like, if we in a relationship, we don't even like putting a title on a relationship. What's understood doesn't have to be said. Your actions are going to prove, you know, your rank in somebody's life. Let's have a real conversation. So that's why I think it's just super hard, you know, for, because like a chosen one, you know, my interpretation of it is like a chosen one is just an awakened individual that chooses the one true source, one true God, one true, the one, uh, the highest version of themselves. That one thing that they don't want you to remember. Let's have a real conversation. So, in my opinion, that's how I interpret a chosen one. You're choosing the one. You're choosing one. You're choosing the one thing that they told you you know, that they just can't. They can't. The Matrix relies on you not remembering, you know, the one thing, the only thing that really matters is that, you know, you're whole. You're without void. Let's have a real conversation. So that's how I interpret that shit. You know what I mean? A lot of people, once again, everything is, you know, gets scattered and people think it's about some ego shit, and some people use it as like playing victims and shit. You know what I mean? Because I look around and I look at all types of people. I look at poor people, like it'd be poor, it'd be people at the social services place. They have some. I mean, bro, it don't make no fucking sense, bro. It don't make no logical earthly sense at all. You know what I'm saying? People that ain't got shit, but they got somebody. But the chosen one is alone and isolated, you know, or has been programmed to self-sabotage. Let's have a real conversation, but not just, you know, self-sabotage their relationship with themselves. At the end of the day, let's have a real conversation. So, seeing people, it'd be motherfuckers at the bus stop thugging it out together. It'd be people, you know, pimps and hoes. Uh, right? I mean, we live in a world we live in a world where poly relationships exist, right? We live in a world where a pimp is fucking all his hoes, and the one hoe is like, he love me, he loyal to me. You know what I'm saying? You know, dangerously in love. You know what I mean? It don't make no fucking sense, man. But you a regular person, you a good person, you a good-hearted person, you a good soul, you reconnected with your soul, and you can't find nobody, or you can't keep nobody. You know, so the shit feels rigged. The shit feels rigged for a person that reconnected with their soul. Let's have a real conversation. There's always some sort of fucking interference. It's always something. It's always some fucking distraction going on. It's always something that's keeping you away from the person that you want to be with, you know, and to the point where it's like you just have to realize, you know, the person that you meant, the person that, you know, and it's like whatever. It sounds gay and it sounds easier said than done, but the person that you're supposed to be pouring into is yourself, and that's how you escape this place. You know what I'm saying? You know, the only attachment that, you know, the truest souls, the only attachment we're supposed to have is to, you know, um, remembering that there's more to this shit than this, you know what I mean? So, because it don't make no sense, you know? Look at these fucking people. What I'm trying to say is, the most unlovable looking motherfuckers, somehow they were able to obtain love and partnership and shit like that. Don't make no fucking sense. The most dirtiest motherfuckers, the most uneducated or unenlightened motherfuckers, the most violent people, abusive, right? The most wicked people. They got people that's ready to fucking do whatever it takes for them. You know what I mean? By their side. It doesn't make any fucking sense at all. You know what I'm saying? And then here come the light worker, and it's like the light worker is what they call that shit? What about chopped liver? Here come the light worker, and it's like everybody's like, you know, a lot of people, they use the light worker, you know, and that's something that you overstand if you hyper, you know, if you just pay attention to the patterns. The light worker gets used. They accept your high vibrational energy. They accept the work that you do for them. But then when it's time to reciprocate, no ma'am. No ma'am. Right? when it's time for them to put in an application to be a light worker. Feel me? So definitely a very, you know, humbling experience, right? When we finally get up out of here, when we finally escape this fucking satanic simulation realm, and we can finally be free again. You know, our souls are actually able to fucking breathe freely and move freely. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's only gonna make us, you know, it's only gonna expand our spirit. But being in it, being present in the moment, is very torturous. It's very low vibe. You know what I mean? Let's have a real conversation. All the time, they don't know a damn thing themselves. Yeah. And it's a lot of, you know, resistance, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing that I'm learning. It's very, it's people that live lifetimes if reincarnation is real. There's people that live lifetimes struggling with conquering, you know, letting go. The resistance is there for a reason. Let's have a real conversation, you know? And me personally, like, I'm just turned off. My spirit is turned off when I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to be with somebody and they making it complicated. I'm trying to be with somebody and they're making excuses. I'm trying to fucking do something and it's just pushback. And it's like, and then I look around and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers don't have to deal with that. These motherfuckers don't have to deal with that. I've been around wicked motherfuckers that, you know what I mean, don't have to, there's no, you know, resistance there, you know what I mean? Like, it's a bunch of fucked up people out here, and it seemed like there's no resistance. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh shit. Get your ass up out of here, man. God damn. They sent the motherfucking Queen Bee to come get my ass. Shit. So anyway, like I said, I think that it just comes down to something as simple as our mission. And I'm not even trying to be condescending, but our mission is more important than theirs, the average person. Our mission is more important than finding a soulmate, than finding a twin flame. They're going to present themselves. I had plenty of situations where I felt like I was dealing with my soulmate or dealing with my twin flame, dealing with a person or individual that was just serving as a mirror to help me advance. Let's have a real conversation. Plenty of times. And you know, but if you don't have the discernment, you know, you won't understand what's really happening. They're there to trigger your spirit for you to you know, spiritually evolve. They're there to serve as a trigger. You know, they're there to aggravate you and make you want to fucking, you know, go to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of people, they think that like their life purpose is to uh, find a partner and then have a family, have some kids, da 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 da. You know, that's not everybody's mission. To have a real conversation, and it's just some people that it's like, I feel like and I do feel like some people just not allowed. I do feel like there is Maybe you signed a contract, a spiritual contract or something. There's something in place, you know what I mean? Firewalls, I don't know. Could be demonic sabotage, I don't know. But I know whenever you try to force some shit, there's never any like positive, you know, outcomes when it comes to that. You know what I mean? It never is. Shit, even when you try to fake some shit, even when you settling for somebody or you're trying to fake a situation, you know, fake want to be with somebody just so you're not alone, it won't work. It won't work. She said that thing's heroin. God damn. Her mission is heroin. God damn. Shit. But that's like, you know, that's a horrible frequency to be on. You know, I was watching videos where this guy, you know, he helps out homeless people, and he was talking to this girl. She was tweaking out of her fucking mind, man. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. Thought I saved the video, but I guess not. Whatever. But I could have swore I saved the video, but whatever. Yeah. So I don't know. It's a lot going on down here. That we just I don't even think we have like our human mind has like the mental capacity to even fucking overstand, you know what I mean? It's like truly, like it's a whole lot of possession going on down here. For all we know, we could have fucking, you know, before we came here, we could have what do they call it? Like spiritual contracts and shit like that. You know, our whole life could be a fucking script that we wrote, for all we know. You know what I'm saying? Or it could just be like complete loose farm, complete spiritual warfare, demonic sabotage. It could be spirit spouse putting belt to ass to your love life. We don't know what the fuck is going on down here. Absolutely no idea. We can only speculate. And even then, it's not, you know what I mean? But from my experience, I look back on all the serious relationships I was in, and it was always some sort of like unexplainable resistance. My first relationship I was in, we got together when I was 12. We was together for like almost 4 years. You know what I'm saying? But it was like we was in love with each other and shit like that, but we were both spiritually dead. The only thing we would do is just have sex and talk about whatever the fuck trend. You know what I mean? Like I don't even you know what I mean? But we would write notes to each other and shit like that. That was like one of the last, you know what I mean? Like, remember that where you would write like before cell phones and shit? Niggas would write notes to each other and shit. So there was effort behind the feeling. Now people just, they use that word, they use the L word, say I love you, but there's no effort behind, there's no action behind. There's none of the little things that we used to do, they haven't translated into today's world. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, you know what I mean? But me and her, we never were able to bond on like a spiritual level. We were both, it never got there. We never, you know, because when you in this world, man, all a real motherfucker want, a truth seeker, a critical thinker, empath, higher developed soul, chosen one, all a motherfucker want is to find somebody that they can trust and that they can grow with. It's that simple. It ain't gotta be perfect. They don't have to be fucking gorgeous or nothing like that. Somebody that listens. Three things. Somebody that listens, because that's the most important thing. Wisdom listens. Stupidity is deaf. Somebody that listens, somebody that you can trust, and somebody you can grow with. Somebody that when you tell them things and you know, they don't take everything as you attacking them or judging them. You know what I'm saying? You're sharing this information, this knowledge, this life experience with somebody because that's the act of love. That's the act of love. But like, so my first, we never, and then we broke up on some bullshit. And then when I finally realized, I was like, damn, like I really do fuck with this girl. Like, it took me forever. It took me like 2 years to get over her. It was bad. It took me like 2 years to get over that chick, like completely. You know what I'm saying? And I can't see shit. Okay, you didn't change your name. Who the fuck is this? 60 BPM. Who is this? That sounds crazy. But so that never. And then by the time I doubled back, she was already pregnant with another fuck nigga that eventually went on to cheat on her and dog her out and all of this shit, right? So it's like her. I don't know if we do it consciously or subconsciously, but a lot of us, we like, I can't think of the fucking word. We stunt our spiritual growth. You know what I'm saying? We stunt our spiritual growth. And that can happen to a chick that get pregnant way too early in life by a deranged, demonic, you know what I mean, piece of shit. Let's have a real conversation, right? So now somewhere in her spirit, she feel like she, you know, her loyalty or her allegiance belongs to a fucking piece of shit. You see what I'm saying? And then now your spirit is just dormant. Like your spiritual growth is just dormant now. Same thing, you know what I mean? Let's have a real conversation. They want us down here, especially chosen ones. They want us down here, you know, anomalies, right? These are all, you know, chosen one, anomaly, free thinker. These are all synonyms. Divine levels of consciousness. Let's have a real conversation. You know? But heavy on the listen. Heavy on the listening. You know, see, people don't realize, like, when you actually have lived experience, and it's the combination of life experience, but also you tapped in the source, so you get these divine downloads or whatever the fuck you want to call it. When you working on both of that shit at the same time, bro, you are a threat to the matrix, my nigga. You a threat to anybody that's not on the same level. You You a threat to anybody that's not on the same fucking exact wavelength. Let's have a real conversation. So, you know, she just stunted her entire spiritual growth, you know. And, you know, that's how I knew, like, not even whatever, but, like, that's how I knew I was built different. Like, she hit me up a few years later, and she was like, yeah, I found out they got married or something. I don't know. They got married. She was like, this motherfucker cheated on me. He was fucking other bitches. So she called me to get her lick back. She called me. She called me to get her lick back. So, like the highly developed soul that I am, right? Like the man of God that I am, I picked her up. I picked her up from her house. She walked out the front door. I said, oh, it's lit. Pick her up. We found a parking lot somewhere. We making out. It's getting hot and heavy. You know what I'm saying? Her titty is directly in my throat, and then like a little bit of milk squirt out, and I was like, "Oh shit, you still lactating, bitch?" And it tasted. I'm not gonna lie, the milk tasted funky. The milk's going bad. It tasted a little funky. I ain't gonna lie. I never had nothing like that before, and I didn't like it. I didn't like her milk. Maybe it needed a little bit of caramel syrup on her son. I wasn't really fucking with that shit. Put a little caramel around the areola, and then we try again, right? But and then we was, you know, whatever, we was getting ready to get it popping in the back seat, and I was like, nah, I can't do it. And I don't even know why, bro. I don't even know why. On everything to this, you know, even to, I'm like, you know, because when you want somebody, you miss somebody, you break up with somebody, you've been thinking about them every fucking day, even when you don't want to think about them, and then here they are right in front of you, and you're like, and you like, nah, I can't do it. And that's how I knew I was built different. That's how I knew I was like, damn, I'm that nigga for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? And she was tight, she was mad, whatever, but you know, just for some reason, it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right to, like, just be somebody's, like, you know, get back. It's like, you know, your husband or whatever, the father of your children, the person you brought souls, you know, you served as a portal to bring souls into this world. Let's have a real conversation, this fucking satanic ass world. But you're not going to, this is not going to be relief. This is just another distraction. This is, you're digging the grave even deeper. Let's have a real conversation. The whole purpose is, you know, you only got two choices down here, right? To climb up, to dig your grave deeper, or climb up out the motherfucker. Those are only two choices you got down here. That's it. So you constantly got to be thinking about your future self, your fucking, the version of you that's tonight, tomorrow, whatever. And that's the person you need to put on a pedestal. Let's have a real conversation. Everything outside of that is, you know what I mean, is a damn near a fucking distraction. Let's have a real conversation. So it's like, I didn't know, I wasn't on this level back then. But even though I wasn't on this level, something in my spirit knew exactly what now I can, you know, vocally explain today. But I wasn't on this level back then. I just knew it wasn't right. And I knew that she was only, by having sex with me, knowing that she got a kid or two at the crib, it was only going to fuck her situation up even more. Because I don't know, she clearly, like, I'm pretty sure she still wanted to be in a relationship with the dude, because she wasn't trying to break up with him or nothing like that. She just wanted to get her lick back. It's as simple as that. She just wanted to hurt this motherfucker the same way he hurt her. And then I was just like, something inside of me, I was just like, nah, I'm not about to be a fucking, you're not about to use me like a pawn. You know what I mean? It'd be different if she didn't want to be with the dude anymore. Like, if she told me she didn't want to be with him, then I'd be like, all right, whatever. But, you know, that's another thing. Like, they love using light work. Like I said, going back to what I said earlier, bro, they just love using and abusing the true light worker, man. The chosen one, the free thinker, whatever. They love using us. They'll use us to our life force, to we walking around looking like Adriana Grande. Use all the life force out of a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? With the manipulation on every level. Until you don't have nothing else to, you know what I mean? You don't have shit else to manipulate. You don't have no more energy to give. Let's have a real conversation. And that's the worst case scenario. So that's why you constantly got to every day, even when you hate yourself, let's have a real conversation. Even when you hate yourself, even when you want to die, you got to you have to force yourself to pour into yourself. That's the hard part. That's the part that a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, they want to ignore. They don't want to, confront. You feel me? This fucking phone is on fire. So anyway, I'm gonna get up out of here, but this phone is so hot. My dumb ass, I had to move, and then the phone, I just realized the phone is sitting in the fucking sun right now while I'm recording or whatever. But I would just say, like I saw in Water Style Post, we're already, people don't even acknowledge their own divinity. You don't even acknowledge how sacred your energy is. You know, people put distractions on a pedestal, and people think that, disassociating is even acceptable. It's not even acceptable. Once you tap back into your awareness, source, whatever, it's not even acceptable. And you feel it, and somewhere in your spirit you're fucking up when you're distracting yourself. You're like, I just need to go, I need to do whatever it is to distract myself from what's in front of me. No, you handle this shit when you feel it. You work through it in the middle of it, like while it's happening. You know what I mean? In real time. That's how you get over shit. That's how you, spiritually upgrade. Um, it said some shit. I saw some shit on Facebook. It was like they said Uranus or something was in fucking, I don't know. It was affecting Taurus or something. And now it's saying, oh well, now everything is gonna be unlocked and all of this shit. It's like, listen, man. Everything becomes unlocked when you tap back into source. When you tap back into your higher self. That's when everything makes perfect sense. When you fucking realize that that attachment is illusion, like the same thing like voting. Like voting is the illusion of choice. You know what I mean? Like attachments are an illusion. And until you can have the ability to you can enjoy things, people, places, things. You can enjoy people, places, things, but you are not Like, nobody's forcing you to be attached to it other than your ego. Let's have a real conversation. So yeah, it's easier said than done. You have to like walk that from the beginning to the end. You have to walk that complete spiritual journey. You have to embrace your dark night of your soul and all this other bullshit. You have to. You don't have no other choice. Otherwise, the only thing you're doing is postponing your spiritual potential. That's it. That's all you're doing. You fucking yourself over in the end. It's the only one you fucking over. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, for the people that you want love, you want to be in a relationship, you look around, you see all of these fucking NPCs frolicking and happy and shit like that. They're a distraction from the Matrix or whatever the fuck this is. They're a distraction. It don't matter what nobody else got going on. It really don't. You know what I'm saying? Only thing you can do is pour into yourself. Try to maximize your spiritual potential. And don't like bring yourself down like any type of wavelength or love. Like you know what I mean? Like it's unacceptable. You know? You gotta have boundaries, especially for your spirit, man. You're like, yo, I'm not coming down. I'm not settling for this fucking satanic ass motherfucking nonsense, you know what I mean? Can't settle for it. You know, and I see people I care about every day. Even if I don't say anything to them. I see them every day. You just don't get it. You don't get it. The same way I didn't get it. I didn't get that shit. But I eventually got it because I stopped running. I was in a situation where I was unable to run away from the mirror that my soul was like showing in front of me. It was no other distraction that I could run to. It was no other motherfucking whatever. You know, the mirror was like, look, motherfucker. You feel me? So I think that chosen ones aren't meant I feel like love is cool, right? Love is cool, right? Love is cool. Everybody love. One of the, if not the best feeling in the world. But what's better than loving externally, loving outside of yourself, is loving yourself. It was this shit on Facebook. And it was like, if I told you to write down a list of things that you love, how far down the list would you get until you actually write yourself? And I was like, damn. And it's damn near like a trick question, because the average person wouldn't even write themselves on the list. You feel me? So yeah, that's my answer to that. You will, as a chosen one, whatever, you will encounter your soulmate, your twin flame, people that you love, people that are there to like teach you shit. And it's very important that you are grateful and you are present. You know what I mean? And you know, and but that you're grateful, because a lot of people they have good people in their life and they don't even fucking, they don't, you know what I mean? They don't, you know, until they gone and they're like, oh, please come back, and it's like, bro, it's it, the window, like, you know what I mean? So it's like you gotta maximize. We have to grateful max. We got to do some grateful maxing. You know what I'm saying? So I would just say that it's more important. You might be a chosen one or a free thinker that feel like, damn, I'm just not allowed to find love. I'm not allowed to be in a relationship. I'm not allowed to be happy. I'm not allowed to fucking be. I'm only allowed to be alone type shit. But what's like the bigger picture is, that's all the opportunity, that's like all the opportunity for you to, like, you know what I'm saying, no homo, fall in love with yourself. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, like Kanye West shit, but on some like actually like take a step back and actually start giving a fuck about yourself in ways that nobody else in this realm could ever. Let's have a real conversation, man. You know? Because the last thing that this realm want to see, the last thing that this satanic simulation realm wants to see, is the smile on a face from a light worker or a higher developed soul or a chosen one. That's the last thing this motherfucker want to see. Is a motherfucker that's awake in the video game that knows what's going on and they actually are happy. Nah, we can't have that shit. To be fucking asleep and ignorant and blissful, or be wide awake in a video game and be fucking depressed. You know what I mean? But this video, man, it's low key, and I am saying, you know, I am gonna catch you on the next year, man. Show.